Welcome back to another English lesson. Did you know I'm an actual English teacher in the United States? Yeah, this is my classroom, and I am about to head home and film this English lesson at my house, like I usually do. But we are going to talk about, actually, we need to make sure the door is locked. And I'm going to step out of the classroom into the hallway. Yeah, hopefully no other teachers see me recording this. But yeah, I'm going to go home and we are going to talk about this government shutdown that keeps going on, and it's not good. It's actually affecting air travel here in the United States. There are super long lines at airports, and the TSA agents, we will talk about them a little later, but they make sure that security is okay. There are a couple of people in the parking lot. Oh, it's super windy. My wife sent me a video too. We got some snow. I didn't see it. My windows were closed. I couldn't see outside, but super windy, super cold. Luckily, no snow on the ground, but it is affecting the government shutdown. It is affecting air travel here in the United States, and we'll talk all about it. I promise. I will talk about what TSA agents are. Just give me a second to get home and we'll start the English lesson. If you have a trip planned to come to the United States anytime soon, I would say don't come. The government has been shut down for over a month, and the people who keep the airport safe are not coming into work. They are either calling in sick or they had to take another job. In today's English lesson, we are going to watch a newscast about how the lines at the airports keep getting longer and longer. Some people are waiting to get through security for over 3 hours. My wife and I just flew 2 weeks ago. I am so glad we are not flying this weekend. In today's English lesson, we will talk about what the FAA is. We'll talk about the verb bracing, a verb you might see on the IELTS or TOEFL exam. We'll talk about the difference between cancellations and delays. Americans love to use the phrase in the coming days, and by the end of this English lesson, you will be able to use it too, and so many more. If that sounds useful to you, please go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe if this is your first time here, and let's watch the news clip together.
Ports across the country are bracing for even more flight cancellations and delays after the FAA announced it will cut 10% of flights at dozens of major airports.
Our sole role is to make sure that we keep this airspace as safe as possible.
Experts say airlines would be forced to cancel thousands of flights nationwide in the coming days.
What will this mean practically for air travel? Is this going to lead to more flight delays, more cancellations?
Well, I think it's going to lead to more cancellations. We're going to work with the airlines to do this in a systematic way.
Yeah, the FAA is an acronym. So the F stands for a word, the A stands for a word. Right down there, you can see Federal Aviation Administration. Federal means like the entire country. Washington, D.C. is our federal capital. Aviation means like something to do with airplanes. It is the government agency that controls and oversees all air travel and safety in the United States. And for each of these terms, I'll have the official definition. I will have a picture that I hope helps you remember the term, and I'll use it in a sentence. The FAA makes sure airplanes fly safely in the sky. Bracing is next. We usually use this when you are preparing to receive bad news. Here's the definition: preparing yourself for something difficult or unpleasant. Looks like this woman is bracing herself for something. She took a deep breath, bracing herself for bad news. If bad weather is coming into an area, you might hear, oh, the town is bracing itself for the big storm. Next, we have cancellations and delays. Let's talk about them at the same time. Cancellations, that is the act of stopping or calling off You might hear that English phrasal verb, something that was planned. It means it's not happening. A little better. It means it's going to happen just at a later time. Let's get a sentence here for cancellations. There were many flight cancellations because of the storm. Now there are cancellations because people who work for the FAA, they're not coming in to work. And who can blame them, right? You need gas in your car. You need to pay for someone to take care of your children while you're at work. Now, a delay, if you are flying, this is better because it means you're still going on your trip. You just have to wait a little longer. The official definition, when something happens later than expected. Our flight had a 2-hour delay. I live in the state of Maine. It snows here in the winter. Sometimes this happens with my school. School was delayed because of the early morning snowstorm. Soul. We have quite a few ways in English we use soul, but if you see it spelled like that, it probably means only or not shared with others. This would be a bad day for the airlines if they only had one person on board. She was the sole passenger on the small plane. Well, in the picture, that plane looks rather large. You can see in the overhead bin, there is only one piece of luggage. In the coming days, have you heard native English speakers use it and not quite know what it means? That word come, we use it in so many different ways. Here it means during the next few days or like soon. This is certainly true for where I live, and to be honest, I'm not happy about it. The weather will get colder in the coming days. Lead or lead. We have so many different ways we use that word. Here it's pronounced lead. Lead to, it means to cause something to happen. And in the picture, you can see on the left side, there is bad weather. On the right side, it looks like a lot of flights are being delayed. Bad weather can lead to flight delays. I have one other example for you. Hopefully, this gives you some inspiration. Improving your English can lead to a better job. Systematic way is next. I'm sure you learn English in a systematic way. People who watch this English channel usually are better English learners. Like they are more advanced than a lot of other places you might find your English. So thank you for watching and thank you for doing such a good job. A systematic way is a method that is organized and follows clear steps. Very important. If you are going to fly anywhere, you want that flight to be safe. The TSA, we will talk about them in just a minute. The TSA checks bags in a systematic way to keep everyone safe. And if you study English in a systematic way, I'm sure you do the same thing almost every day in the same way. Maybe you wake up very early in the morning to study. Please let me know in the comments, when do you study English best? Are you a night person or are you a morning person?
ABC News obtaining the list of the 40 airports that will be impacted. From the nation's busiest airport, Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson, to LAX, Dallas, JFK, Miami, Detroit, and DCA here in Washington. Air traffic controllers have been forced to work without pay during the government shutdown, leading to staffing shortages, delays, and ground stops. More than 60,000 TSA workers also missing their paychecks, creating long lines and wait times at security checkpoints.
We're petrified. We are concerned.
At Dulles International Airport, FAA radar technician and union rep Cleverson Schmidt says the strain has reached a breaking point.
So you were already short-staffed.
Correct.
And how much worse has this shutdown made it?
It's exponentially made it worse because we're exhausted now.
And how much does that compromise air safety?
Every day it goes up. That compromise goes up every single day.
Obtaining is next. This is a great word for the IELTS or TOEFL exam. It means getting or gaining something, especially through effort. I'm sure each day you study English, you are obtaining more words you can use in future conversations. In the picture, we have a new pilot. He is obtaining his pilot's license this year. We have another acronym here, kind of, ATC. It stands for Air Traffic Controllers, and those are people who manage airplane takeoffs and landings to keep flights safe. And here you can see that person looks like they are an air traffic controller. And unfortunately, because of the government shutdown, these people are not getting paid. They haven't been paid in over a month. Air traffic controllers guide pilots through bad weather. So almost every agency that is a federal agency and those workers are not getting paid, they're seeing staffing shortages, not easy to say. That is when there is not enough workers to do the needed jobs. Sometimes you will hear workers called staff. Staffing shortages at airports cause long lines. I'm recording this on a Sunday, but Friday at work at my school, we had a shortage of staff. There were 20 teachers out for some reason. I'm not sure. I don't think it was because they were sick, because my principal sent us a letter during the middle of the week saying, hey, can you please sub in some classes because we have a lot of teachers out. Another acronym, TSA. You won't hear the full thing said very often. The full thing is Transportation Security Administration. Now, we usually just say TSA. They wear uniforms that say TSA. It's the U.S. government agency that checks passengers and luggage before flights. The TSA makes sure no dangerous items are brought onto airplanes. To get onto an airplane, you have to go through at least one checkpoint. Last summer, I went to Turkey. I got a hair transplant. I got more hair. Thank you, Cab Health, by the way. If you would like a hair transplant, I will leave a link in the description to give you more information. Use my name, Brent, to get 10% off. But in Istanbul, at the airport, I had to go through 3 checkpoints just to get onto the plane. And you know what? I really didn't mind because I figured that would be even safer than just one checkpoint. Checkpoints are places where security officers check passengers or vehicles. In the picture, that definitely is at an airport. We went through 2 TSA checkpoints before boarding the plane. Strain. Sometimes I need to strain my eyes to see what is written on the screen. I would wear glasses, but I have lights on the other side of the screen, so I will just strain my eyes to read what is on the screen. Strain means pressure or stress that makes something or someone work too hard. My eyes are definitely being strained or stressed. It would help if I had the right picture up, right? Here we go. Make the picture a little bigger. That rope is fraying. That might be a bonus term, fraying, but it's also being strained. The rope began to strain under the heavy weight. Right here, you could easily strain your back. Be careful when lifting heavy objects. Don't lift that heavy box. You might strain your back. Well, in the picture, they are not lifting a heavy box. They are lifting a heavy couch. Love this word, exponentially. Exponentially, it's an adverb. It helps describe other adverbs, adjectives, even verbs. It means increasing very fast, growing more and more quickly. Here we have someone. I hope you're a lot alike. Her English skills are improving exponentially because she studies every day, keeps getting bigger, better very quickly. Well, this is not so fun here. And it's true in the United States. Gas prices rose exponentially last summer. It was actually 2 summers ago, 2024, when gas prices rose exponentially. Exhausted. If you know what tired is, it's basically like very tired, right at the bottom, having no energy left. Can you imagine if you have been waiting for 3 hours at a checkpoint just to get through? I'm sure that would make you feel very exhausted. After waiting all night for her flight, she felt exhausted. Compromise. The Republicans and the Democrats in Washington, they need to come to a compromise to end this shutdown. A compromise is an agreement where each side gives up something to solve a problem. And in the picture, it looks like two soccer teams signed up to use the field at the same time. They made a compromise so that both teams could use the field. Looks like one team got one half of the field, the other team got the other half of the field. That's it. We're done. Congratulations. If you're looking for more English, there are 3 other English lessons I did about this government shutdown. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.